YouTube channel, Forward Momentum. Today is part 2 in a series. We are going to paint match that front lip to the color of my vehicle. I happen to have a 98 Lexus GS 400 in 3N1 Cinnabar Red Pearl. Let's take a look at the supplies that you're going to need to do this properly. Here's the stuff you're going to need to do this job properly. First and foremost, let's talk safety. Be sure to get yourself one of these N95 masks to protect your lungs, safety glasses, nitrile gloves, Gorilla mounting tape, 30-pound, heavy duty. This is 1 inch wide by 60 inches in length. You can use other stuff too, but this should do the job for holding the front part in place, and I'll show you where we're going to mount that at. Next, I really like these right angle drills. You can get them in Harbor Freight for cheap, and it allows you to get underneath the front of your vehicle without jacking it up. Be sure to get a wet dry sandpaper pack. We got 220 through 1200. I'll probably use the higher number stuff for this job, and you're going to want to use some cleaning wipes such as these Techspray Isopropyl alcohol cleaning wipes, something like that. Okay, let's talk about paint. Adhesion promoter. Got to use it on this polyurethane stuff and any kind of plastic. It is going to have a heck of a time trying to bond otherwise, so we're going to scuff it up, add adhesion promoter, and then after that dries, we're going to go to sandable primer, and then we're going to go to the base coat, which is perhaps the most important. So you're going to need your paint code, and you can send that paint code in to Automotive Touch-Up, and they will mix you a batch of their good stuff there. And finally, gloss clear coat. Let's take this front lip off right now. It is removed and ready for prep and paint. So let's get started. Welcome to the area underneath my house. You're going to see some future episodes probably filmed in this area. In the future, we're going to put a sliding glass door right there, so there'll be a lot more natural light, and I have 4 shop lights on order to make sure this area stays nice and lit up. I got my nitrile gloves on. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to start with 1000 grit sandpaper, and basically just go to town on this thing, get it all scuffed up. That's all you have to do. You can see where I did it and where I did not do it. Well, that's the idea. Make the whole thing look like that, and you'll be good to go. All done, all scuffed up. I haven't wiped it off yet, but that's what it should look like. This is 1000 grit sandpaper that I utilized. You want to wait to wipe it till just before you're ready to put on the adhesion promoter, step 1. Also, you need to make sure that your local temperature and humidity are within a good range. Right around 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal, with a mid-range humidity, somewhere in the 50% to 60% range. I had some copper sitting around, found it in a dumpster, and that is how I plan to hang this during painting. It's time to wipe it down. Figure out a good spot that works for you. Make sure it's not too windy, and make sure it falls in that temperature and humidity range I mentioned earlier. Alright guys, adhesion promoter time. First I'm going to shake this thing for at least a minute. I'm not going to film the entire process of shaking it, but you get the idea. You just got to mix it all up inside of there, and then we're going to go ahead and coat that entire thing, including where the sticky tape is going to go, because that'll help the sticky tape stick to the polyurethane. So don't forget that step. But I'm not going to paint the back side, but I'm going to apply the adhesion promoter only there. Okay, so don't forget that part. Primer time. Gotta shake it all up. At this point, you want to inspect your work. And really make sure that that sandable primer is looking good, because you can sand out imperfections. So this is the time to do it, and this is the time to look for it. If you like what you see, you can move on to the next step, which would be to wait for this to dry for probably 30 minutes just to be safe, and then you can begin to apply the base coat. This is the base coat color, 3N1 Cinnabar Red Pearl. You want to wait 30 minutes before you spray on the gloss clear coat. So I'm going to wait. Okay, it's time for the gloss clear stage. This is also by Automotive Touch Up. Now the idea is to put 4 to 5 gloss clear coats on. So I'm only on my second coat, and you're supposed to wait 10 to 15 minutes in between each coat. And gotta be honest guys, thus far, I am not that impressed, unfortunately. But I'll take one for the team, and I'll continue on, and I'll let you know in the end what it looks like and what my final recommendation is. It's 24 hours later. Let's go take a look and see how the front lip looks after spray painting it with 4 coats of clear coat. I don't like what I see on the surface here. It looks like a roughed up surface, almost like a matte finish, and that's not really the look I was going for. So I'm going to try to get at the angle here so you can see. You know, something probably went wrong in the process, but painting it to match the paint that you have on your vehicle now is very, very difficult with spray paint. At some angles it looks pretty good. You know, I feel like this angle looks pretty good. But all in all, I would say that this is what I call a 5-foot paint job. So if you're going to be 5 feet or more, then it looks pretty good. Okay guys, I feel like I got it as good as it's going to get. It's still got some texture here on the front part, and I don't like that at all. I think where I went wrong was during the sandable primer application phase. I did not wet sand and then apply the base coat. So if you're going to do this with spray paint, I highly recommend that you do the wet sand process after you apply the sandable primer. Let's put it on and let's see what we got. And I'm going to clean everywhere that the double-sided mounting tape is going to stick to. Put that down really well. those are the steps required if you want to spray paint polyurethane body kit parts. In the end, I ended up with a finish that I wasn't too happy with, so I don't recommend this process. What could I do to improve it in the future? I could wet sand after the sandable primer application. I think that would greatly reduce the texture I'm experiencing on the front part of my front lip. Appreciate your support. Please drop a like, comment on the video, and of course, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next episode.